Colton Vasek and Anthony Hill Jr. decommit from their respective schools that they have been committed to, and we have to talk about it. But before we do that, please go ahead, hit that like and the subscribe button. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments below about these two decommitments from their respective schools. Okay, Anthony Hill, Colton Vasek have decommitted. We're going to start with Colton Vasek. So Colton Vasek is going to be decommitting from the University of Oklahoma. That's pretty much given at this point. I think all of you all know this, so not really anything new I can provide you there. We know that it's probably going to be a Texas. You're hearing a lot of things about boosters being in the pockets and providing a lot of pressure to his parents to get him to flip to the University of Texas. So that confirmation has not actually been made official. So I want to go ahead and put this out. The decommitment and the flip has not been made official, but we all expect Vasek at this point to flip from OU to Texas. We all pretty much assume that at this point. What does this mean for the University of Oklahoma, and how are they going to bounce back from losing a guy like Vasek, who could be one of the top 10, top 5 edge rushers in this class? Well, we've heard about how they went out and offered Jordan Allen, who is from Olathe, Kansas, and is currently committed to Kansas State, right? You would start to feel like that's becoming a little bit more of a priority on the recruitment side. Obviously not as highly ranked as Colton Vasek, but still a tremendous athlete and somebody that you would expect him to want to be able to go out there and get. Now, Jeff Lebby is the one that threw out the offer. So you almost have to wonder if Jordan Allen would be able to come in and play tight end, or if he's still going to go play the edge. Additionally, a guy like Damian Sanford was just recently offered by Oklahoma. He is a top 400 player, currently committed to Texas A&M. He is the teammate and friend of David Hicks. And so you would expect OU to probably prioritize this guy as well, to try to be able to help maybe bring Hicks back to Oklahoma, where he originally was leaning before he committed to the University of Texas A&M. And so outside of those two players, who is there realistically for OU to go get? Well, we know that Akana is still out there, and I still think Akana commits to Oklahoma. He's going to fit really well in the three-man front that BV likes to run. Additionally, OU has thrown an offer out for a guy like Samuel M. Pimpimba. Not saying that that's something or somebody that OU is going to be able to go out there and get, but maybe if you're Miguel Chavis and Todd Bates and BV, maybe you go out there and start to prioritize a recruitment of an Mpemba, or maybe you go out there and you prioritize the recruitment of who is that kid? It was DJ Uyunglele's brother. It's Mateo. Is that his name? Uyunglele. Anyways, he's an edge rusher too, right? So maybe you throw an offer out to him and just see where you land, right? Because it doesn't hurt to throw an offer out and to start recruiting that kid, even if you're a little late, to just start recruiting that kid and see where you could potentially land with it. So what does this do to the Oklahoma class? Because Oklahoma was sitting pretty strong for a minute, and then now all of a sudden you lose Colton Vasek, and there's kind of a lot of questions. So right now you're sitting at a 279 composite score. Losing Vasek, that would put you at about number 9 in the composite rankings. Listen, there's no room to really panic. I mean, it's not like we're losing PJ Adebawore. Now, if we're losing PJ Adebawore, I would be a little bit more concerned, but we're not losing PJ. And so I've done some calculations. I'm putting those back in here right now. I'm doing some calculations of guys that we can go out there and get. You guys have heard me talk about how I think Ashton Sanders would be a huge pickup for the University of Oklahoma. Just being able to play that true nose tackle position, especially in that three-man front. He's just big and strong. He's definitely able to play it. And he just recently picked up the offer from OU. So if you land David Hicks, Damian Sanford, Jordan Allen, Tahu Akana, and Ashton Sanders, then you're looking at about a 296 composite score as things sit right now, which would put you above Georgia in the rankings and would put you at the number 2 recruiting class. Now, does that mean you'll finish number 2? Probably not, because if Texas was to be able to go out there and land Anthony Hill and Colton Vasek. That puts them at 295. I would expect Texas, with only 22 commits, to be able to probably go out there and take a couple more guys. But I also expect OU to not be finished either. That's only with 25 commits. I expect them to probably take upward to 30, and then you're going to have some transfer portal people in there as well. So OU could definitely finish with a blended transfer portal and recruiting class, probably number top 3. But when you look at the blended, so I don't think there's any reason to really just freak out. It didn't seem like maybe Vasek had been completely 100% committed as of recently. So I think the writing, as a lot of people were talking about, I'm sorry if I butcher your name, but Jimmy Satfield, he actually comments on some of my videos a lot. He said it too. Writing was on the wall. I kind of agree with him now. The writing was on the wall, especially when you go back to start and look at it. Here's the thing, right? You got to be optimistic sometimes. You have to be, you don't want to be a negative Nancy, if that makes sense. I don't like the negative Nancys. I don't want to be a doomer. So, but Anthony Hill decommits from Texas A&M, and man, you got to start looking at that Texas A&M program and going, what is going on out there? Is Jimbo about to be fired? Is something about to happen? Because if you're Texas A&M and you just lost the number 17 overall player in this class and Anthony Hill, the number 1 linebacker, there's some real concern out here about what Texas A&M could potentially be, especially with the coaching carousel really starting to heat up with everybody trying to dump their guys. Right now you hold commitments from the number 9 overall player in this class, David Hicks. You hold a commitment from the number 42 overall player, a 4-star quarterback, Bravion Rogers, and some other guys in this class. And you really have to start asking yourself if they're going to be able to continue to hold some of these commits, because right now your overall class ranks at 23. And if you lose David Hicks, I expect to see that class go, woo! But anyways, Anthony Hill's recruitment is open. I think a lot of people are expecting him to go to the University of Texas. Now, I'm going to put a disclaimer on this. I still think I'm with everybody else that he'll go to Texas. But I think there are some schools we should probably watch out for in the recruitment of Anthony Hill. 1, LSU. LSU's hot right now. After watching what Harold Perkins did against Alabama and Brian Kelly's defense, yeah, Anthony Hill's got to be looking at and going, 5-star Harold Perkins Jr. did really well. Maybe I should start looking at that as an option. So LSU is potentially on the table. Obviously, Alabama being his top 3, you got to leave Alabama in there. We're not going to talk about Texas because we know that's probably where he's going. The third one is Oklahoma. Now, that's probably a really far-fetched dream. So I'm not saying by any means at all that he's coming here or we have a really good shot or anything. That's not what I'm saying. But his teammate, Caleb Hicks, is going to be coming here. And OU does recruit the Denton Ryan area. So it could be a possibility. I know that we were in his recruitment. He did take an OV here. Now, again, I don't think it's likely. That's not what I'm saying. It's just a possibility. Those are some teams that you should watch outside of him going to Texas. It's going to be a crazy couple weeks on the recruiting trail. Keep your eyes open. Don't freak out. Let whatever happens, happen. If you guys haven't already, please go ahead, hit that like and the subscribe button. Let me know what you guys are thinking about these two, where you think they're going to land, and where do you think OU's class is going to land.